A newfound power. I stepped out into the sunlight for the first time in a while. I didn't melt or burn like a vampire, which was a relief. Apparently, my monster instincts now let me know when an action is dangerous to me, though I'm the kind of person who'd do something even if I know it's a bad idea. I'm not laughing. It's a habit I'm aware of, and I really need to work on it. The cave was in the middle of a forest, a large mouth gaping open at the foot of a small hill. The hill itself stood out amidst the massive trees. It's hard to describe. It was the only spot where the sun seemed to hit directly. The moment I took a step into the surrounding forest, it became noticeably darker. At the top of the hill, there was some sort of suspicious carving. A magic circle, perhaps? Following the advice of "a wise person avoids danger," I quickly left the area. It's been a little while since I left the cave, and the sun is already starting to set. I must have exited the cave around midday. I've been wanting to fine-tune my surprisingly accurate internal clock to tell me the date as well, and as I thought about it, it naturally just happened. Was it always this easy? It's a little past 4 p.m. now, time for dinner. Unfortunately, I don't need to eat. I could, but since I can't taste anything, it would just feel hollow. Speaking of eating, I remembered the monsters I devoured in the cave. I had a new set of abilities, and I'd analyzed them, but then left them alone. Black serpent, heat sense, poison mist breath, centipede, paralyzing breath, giant spider, sticky web, steel thread, vampire bat, vampiric touch, ultrasonic wave, armored lizard, body armor. The black serpent's poison mist breath turned out to be unusable, in a sense. When the armored lizard appeared, I used the ability by mimicking the serpent. The lizard's armor was no match. It melted away, becoming a gooey mess. It was one of the most gruesome sights I'd ever witnessed, and I don't want to think about it again. I realized that if an adventurer had encountered that black serpent, they would have been wiped out before they could even cast a spell. What if it had been used on me? I don't even want to think about it. I'm just glad I got the first hit in. This attack is just too powerful and gross. I don't even want to remember the gory mess it left behind. I had to use the breath again to completely disintegrate the lizard's remains. When I tried using the ability in my slime form, the range dropped from 7 to 10 meters to just about 1 meter. Would you want to watch your opponent melt away from that close? I've decided to seal this ability away for now. However, the heat sensibility is amazing. Most living things generate heat, and if I combine this with my Mana Sense skill, I can prevent most surprise attacks. I still need to be careful with humans and higher-level monsters, as I don't know what kind of magic or special skills they might have. Next, the centipede. I didn't even want to mimic its disgusting appearance. The breath range was the same as the serpent's, and in my slime form, it was also about 1 meter. A surprise paralysis breath could be useful, but if an enemy gets within a meter of me, I'm better off mimicking something else or just running away. Finally, the lizard. Its armor was easily melted by the poison breath, so I don't have high hopes for it. I already have physical attack resistance, so it seems pretty useless to me. When I tried it in my slime form, my surface hardened. I looked like a metal slime from a popular RPG. My light blue body turned into a beautiful silvery blue metallic color. I didn't want to experiment to see how much damage it could take, but it definitely looks cool. It might be useful for scaring off enemies. Those are the abilities of the first 3 monsters. The last 2, however, are far more interesting. First, the spider. You know the hero who has spider abilities? The one who shoots webs from his wrists, swinging between skyscrapers? That famous guy. The sticky web skill is meant to trap and immobilize prey, but maybe I can use it to recreate that hero's movements. I immediately started experimenting. I shot a thread at a tree branch and I just dangled there. I don't know what sticky web is, but it's certainly not a swinging skill. So I moved on to steel thread. This is meant for defense and for creating advantageous situations like a labyrinth. I shot a single, thin thread and whipped it against a tree. Snap! It broke instantly, but I can see it clearly with my Mana Sense, and it would be very difficult for a normal person to see. With practice, this could become a useful weapon, so I decided to make it a long-term project. Lastly, the bat. I had the highest hopes for this one. The vampiric touch skill? It lets you temporarily use 10% of the target's abilities after you drink their blood. This skill is useless. Devouring them is far more effective. I don't even want to drink blood. I'll just collect the data and ignore the ability itself. My real interest lies in ultrasonic wave. This skill can confuse or knock out targets, but its primary function for locating things. Just like bats in my old world, I can use sound to pinpoint locations. The important part is the vocal cords. The skill itself is secondary. I started by trying to recreate the vocal organs of the bat inside my slime body. It was a huge stroke of luck that I was able to absorb a monster with this function, as it gave me a reference. I might be able to figure out how to speak. I continued my research without sleeping, though I don't actually need to sleep.
We are from outer space. Success. It was a distorted, choppy voice, like someone speaking into a fan, but I did it. Now all I need to do is fine-tune it. I calmed myself down and began adjusting my vocal cords. This ultrasonic wave skill is pretty useful. I remember there was a weapon called a sonic buster or sonic blaster. I wonder if I could do something like that. Query answered. There's a possibility of the skill ultrasonic wave evolving into super vibration. However, this is not currently possible. So I need to either evolve or change my abilities. It seems I don't have enough information yet. I was hoping I could do something like emitting a resonant frequency to destroy a target, like some sort of stronger-than-human creature. But I don't even understand what that means, so there's no way I could use it. I guess I was getting too greedy. It's always better to have more cards up your sleeve, but there's no need to rush. Being able to produce a vocal organ at all is a satisfying result in itself. I continued my journey, experimenting with my new abilities. I had no particular destination or goal. I just thought that if I came across a village or town, I'd try to talk to some kind-looking people. It's been surprisingly peaceful these past few days. Inside the cave, I was constantly attacked by monsters, but out here, there's been almost nothing. The only encounter was when a pack of wolves attacked me during my vocal practice. I simply let out a guttural, "huh?" and they let out a pathetic whimper before fleeing. These were big wolves, over 2 meters long, bigger than a regular large dog. For a monster to be scared of a slime, it's just sad. As for me, if I don't get attacked, that's fine. Although, if I had devoured the wolves, I might have gained a sense of smell. Curious, I continued to observe and noticed it wasn't just the wolves. No monsters would come within 100 meters of me. Are they afraid of me? For some reason, I feel like the monsters in this forest are genuinely terrified of me. Just as I had that thought, my mana sense detected a group of monsters approaching. Problems always seem to pop up when you least expect them. A group of about 30 human-like monsters appeared before me. They were small, with crude equipment and dirty, unintelligent expressions. Still, they weren't entirely mindless. Some had swords, shields, stone axes, and even bows. My gray matter instantly identified them. They're the famous monsters who attack adventurers, goblins, a classic trope. And the victim is the defenseless monster? Me? 30 goblins for one slime seems like overkill. For some reason, though, I don't feel scared. My instincts tell me not to fear them. Their swords are rusty, their armor is shoddy, and some are just wearing rotten cloth. After having fought monsters with tough scales like the lizard and strong, bladed limbs like the spider, I can't imagine their equipment would do much damage to me. Besides, I could just turn into the black serpent and use its breath to take them all out. As I was thinking, the leader of the pack spoke. "Guga, mighty one, do you have business further ahead? Goblins can talk? I guess I can understand them to a certain extent by applying my mana sense. And did he just call me Mighty One? They've surrounded me with weapons, but they're being so polite. What are they thinking? I was intrigued. It didn't seem like they were going to attack right away, so I figured it might be a good idea to see if my words would get through to them. I decided to try and have a conversation with the goblins.